Hey, everybody. Yes. Can you believe it? We are at the finish line. And I think this is sets a good precedent for everyone to, as you move forward through the program, to know that preparation is naturally the key. Being selfish with your time, getting enough rest so that you can allocate enough cerebral energy, not paying attention, and not saying, I mean, I don't know how anyone can do this, but I know there are people that do their work at 11 o'clock at night after they've taken care of their kids and attended to all kinds of things. I get the obligations and how they can wear you out, but this is a good prep, right? You know how fast these courses can move along quickly. There's a lot of work involved. I want to commend all of you for the great work and the effort in a really critical topic or area of concern, that all of my colleagues across the United States and actually beyond that are involved in public safety, advocacy, you name it, the federal, state, local level, they all say the same thing. We have a communication issue, relative to the practitioners and their ability to communicate in a number of different settings, as well as, orally, as well as in writing. And that's where our work is judged. That's where our abilities to advocate and help people, that's what it comes down to. It's the quality of our work under the communication umbrella. And I'm just telling you this from experience, and anyone else who's been in the field or in the field now will tell you the same thing. This is the hill we die on, how well we can communicate. And part of communicating, as you well know, I mean, the substantial portion of communication requires you to read what other communications have been written about this. In other words, what have other people written? And let me get right cut to the chase. Your research, right? The required resources that are written by experts for you so you can amplify your own level of expertise and understand what's required. Okay. And to also provide substantive, robust, authentic, and clear and well founded responses, regardless of the assignment. Okay. So pretend you're either teaching or you're preparing for court. You don't want to leave any stones unturned and you really want to be clear. So, again, watch out for slang, colloquial, street terminology, the I thinks and I feels. They have no place here. And you could get, quote, rung up, no pun, you could get rung up on it. You're going to be, the critical elements, as you know, in the rubric, they do hold you accountable to that. It's not the world according to me. So, Mod 7, you had a lot of work in here. You had a practice activity. Okay. You had a project to do. We got through that. So far, so good. And a quiz. Let's take a look at Mod 8. Let's go to, let me see, bring this up. In Mod 8, you've got Project 3. Let's take a look at the guidelines and the rubric. We're looking at the same scenario here. And it's not all that unique. A male victim of a rather brutal assault. I attended to a number of those, and they are very different contextually, psychologically, emotionally, etc. So be very mindful of that and make sure that you do your research. Look at the required resources. I commend those people that talked about the emotional and psychological aspects, of the issue relative to the male victim here, and that's how they justified relevance. In other words, what am I trying to expose? What am I trying to illustrate? What am I trying to illuminate? How best can I help this person? If I don't speak with some level of expertise in these disciplines that are all part of social sciences, i.e., criminal justice, if I don't increase the level of expertise through sustained reading of research, et cetera, required resources, right? If you don't utilize that, you can't provide an articulate rationale for what you're doing. And analogous to court, it's not, we don't have enough evidence to say that what we are saying is factual. So please heed my advice. This is not just a one-off on this course. It's in every course. And I can speak with some authority on that because I was the chief development officer on this one. I was the dean until I retired in February of this year. But we worked very hard on this program and these courses to replicate, mimic, identify, okay, and give everyone the opportunity to participate in active learning. Put yourself in the shoes of these people. Some of you are already in these and you've done very well and you can bring that to the table, but also understanding that you have to write with academic, i.e., scholarly expertise. You've got to be clear and you have to support your responses. Well, at least some reference to what you've been reading. And, the more you read, the better you are. I mean, that's the formula. The more you read, the more informed you are. The more you read, the more you adopt and mimic the language, the formatting, etc., okay, that experts use. And these weren't experts until they did exactly what I'm telling you what needs to be done. It had to be done. I did the same thing. So again, not the world according to me, but this is what the experts in the field are looking for. What are the people we serve look for? They want they want expertise, they want excellence, and they deserve it. So anyway, here are your directions. Make sure you carefully scroll down through each one of these and answer them clearly as possible. Okay, and justify your responses. I will be looking for that to hold you accountable to what's in the rubric for your own good. It's not to be punitive, all right? It's not to hit you over the head with it, but make sure that you look here. Now, up here you have the scenario. Make sure you understand fully, at least to some extent, right? What does a victim advocate do? What are their requirements? Okay, what level of expertise and excellence do they have to bring to the table in order to help someone? Okay, because they are critical. We had a very, very active domestic violence unit when I was working, and those civilian advocates that were assigned to that unit did a remarkable job. It was breathtaking because they really had to deal with a myriad of issues: psychological, emotional, financial, etc. Okay, because people's worlds do come apart, and then they, for them to respond to all the demands and obligations, of in their particular life and world, whether it's their job, in other words, their children, all that can come apart pretty quickly. So you have to be very good at what you do to help people involved in these situations. You have to be excellent. So there's that. And then we move down to, don't forget your resources. Oh, what does it say again? Required right here. Okay. So no excuses. These are excellent. And that includes your textbook. All right. So let's move down here. 8-2, discussion, make your case, which means you make your case. It says discussion, which means no, you're not having a cup of coffee in the hallway with other students. What you're doing is you are creating a position of some level of expertise backed up by facts. So look at the scenario here. Take your position. Do you agree or disagree? This has spawned great debate, great conversation. Okay, but make sure that you speak, from a platform of expertise based upon what you have read. Okay, oops, reference, right? And then you have at the bottom here the research question. Okay, let's take a look at this. Project 3. Oh, let me go back to the site. Apologize. Here's the 8-3 practice activity. This gives you a leg up, a run up, a head start, okay, for your final course in criminal justice. Because if as you know, the term goes fast. The program can too as well. So here you'll be creating a research question that you will eventually investigate further. You want to keep this in your e-portfolio. You will be submitting this, and I'll be reviewing this and giving you all my counsel and advice to the best of my ability to help you. Okay, so make sure you look at, what is a research question? Make sure you go to the Shapiro Library, not Wikipedia, not Google, but right here. Okay, I will be vetting that, and I'll tell you why. Because as you move on, some of you may not even think about it, but you will be at some point. You may be doing graduate level work. Okay, and this is how you prepare for that, by utilizing one of the best e-libraries in the United States. That would be the Shapiro Library. Look and utilize those resources, but this is where reading comes in, which means you have to have cerebral brain energy to sit down and really read, not snapshot read, but read through, what research questions look like, how they're formulated, what's a successful one or an excellent one look like, all of that. Your research question gives birth literally to, your investigation, which can contribute a great deal to a larger body of knowledge about social sciences, criminal justice, and in general terms, your ability to help people by your discovery, by your investment of time, energy, and excellence. All right, so if there's any questions, make sure you get a hold of me. You all have my phone number. I'm available 7 days a week, evenings as well, more often than not. If I miss your call, leave me a good callback number and time. If you do text me, please tell me who you are in the body of the text. I don't save all these into my contacts. So if you do text me with a question, please introduce yourself, as well. And that's pretty much it. So any questions, let me know.